Hello, everybody. Demigo here with the Guns of Icarus podcast. Today with me, I have 3 points down
Hello.
and two guest hosts, Brick Hardcastle
Hello.
and Keyvias.
Hello.
This week, we are going to be talking about the new update to Guns of Icarus. One of the major things having been added is the new gun, the Hades Light Cannon. Which deals both fire and piercing damage, and hopefully I'll have pictures or something for this. Sorry, Keyvias, how do you feel about this new gun?
I love it mostly because it lets us do more with balance, because we only had two piercing weapons for balance, so it was kind of hard to touch any of them without completely changing the pace of the game, because you have to get through that armor.
Yeah.
I think
Brick, how do you feel about it?
How do I? I haven't actually. I mean, I've seen it in action, but I haven't actually fired it yet. So, I mean, I actually thought this interview was going to be about something different. Sorry.
Oh,
That's
that's next week's one, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna actually
yeah.
bring you guys back next week to talk about competitive play.
Okay then. All right.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, it appears. I haven't really kind of, like I said, I mean, I've only played a few games with the cannon actually in it, and it seems that it hasn't really caused me too much trouble so far. I think that might be because people are still working out how to use it.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we do have another armor piercing weapon because, in terms of armor piercing, we're a bit sort of strapped for those. Just you got the Gatling, you got the Merc, and I mean that's about it. I mean, yeah, that's about it really. Well, yeah, I suppose heavy carronade that'll destroy everything. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is good that we've got another kind of armor piercing weapon.
Alex?
I haven't had the chance to actually have it on my ship yet. Well, I haven't really had the chance to fire it. I think going against it, it depends how it's used. If people are using it as a long range weapon, it hasn't really bothered me that much. But I've been up against a couple of Pyrrhas. I've just dueled it on the front, and it's just been a nightmare.
Yes.
It's just the amount of stacks of fire you can get up if you just keep firing it. It kind of gets ridiculous after a while.
Yeah, when I first when I went into the game, I looked at the stats. It was low piercing and low fire damage, so I'm like, okay, this thing can't be that good.
Yeah.
And it has such a long range. Taking it into the game, I ran a Pyramidion with a Merc and the new Hades Light Cannon. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna stay back and snipe. For one, it's so hard to hit from that distance, and for two, when you get to mid-range and say the other team has two of those, they're just putting stacks upon stacks on your ship, and it gets so annoying.
I think it's kind of like most other new guns. It just takes a while to get used to. Just like when people, when the mine launch was first introduced, people kind of, trying to figure out how to fire it when it can best be used. I think eventually the gun will really find its own way to ruin everyone's game.
Yeah.
I know. The most important thing I found with it when I was playing around with it, if you zoom in, you're a lot less accurate. And I'm not saying because the weapon fires differently. It feels a lot better. You can judge it more if you're not zoomed in the shot.
Yeah, I think that goes for the Mercury too.
Yeah. I guess it always depends.
Yeah, I personally like to see another long range light weapon added. However, the only other long range light weapon is also piercing, so all you're pretty much doing is shredding the armor, and you're not really getting the hull itself.
Yeah.
Well, the Artemis has 1300 range,
but it's also a pain in the butt, and it's used more for disabling than anything else.
Well,
True,
Mercs can kind of chip the hull health down gradually.
Yeah,
it just takes a little while though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there should be a sniping weapon that can just kill the armor and the hull just from across the map. That would be.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying give it piercing to go through the hull. I'm saying a long range explosive shot that can that's pretty much useless.
Well,
Except
no, I
for
mean
damage.
that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, if you could just take at extreme range, take out armor and the hull really quickly, like with Gat Flak or Gat Mortar, I just think that a lot of teams would find themselves kind of blown up before they even kind of got near the enemy.
That's the thing. We already have that, but it's combined into one weapon, and it's called the lumberjack.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a good point. I mean, lumberjack takes a lot of skill to use, but the thing is, when you get used to it, I mean, you can destroy the balloon, and once you destroy the balloon, I mean, it's pretty much inevitable you'll start destroying the rest of the ship.
It does become a huge target after that.
Yeah.
Plus,
you have all the damage going on.
I think that the lumberjack probably. The thing is, it's hard because the lumberjack is not easy to hit with, but if you're hitting every time, it's just absolutely devastating and kind of a little OP.
Yeah,
and it hasn't really. Yeah, go on.
It's completely weird because I mean you play random pub matches against people who use the lumberjack, and overall it's like, oh well, it's annoying here, but it's beatable here. But I'll be honest, I fought like against the Ducks and their lumberjack gunners, and it's psychotic. Like me and Howard, we popped out of cover once and just got shot down instantly. Like it is a military firing line. When you get a good clan that just has those weapons down.
Yeah, you should have watched the podcast from last week when we had Twinkie on. We were just cracking down on the Ducks because their sniping is literally, honestly, in my opinion, it's the best sniping in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody matches them.
Some of the guys.
Yeah.
It's already sold them. I don't know. I mean, it can be OP just depending on where it's used. I mean, the ships that it can be used on have some kind of impediment that kind of evens it out. If that makes sense. Like if you have the lumberjack on a galleon, okay, it takes a bit for the galleon to actually turn, to actually keep on target, especially if you're moving fast past them, or if you have it on the goldfish. The goldfish doesn't really have many other. Well, no, it doesn't have any other forward-facing guns to actually keep on you with. So, although where it can be used to a very good effect, it can always be counter-attacked by its own downfalls, kind of.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to add to the topic of the Hades light cannon?
I mean, I can imagine it kind of. I can imagine it sort of in terms of prolonged engagements, like the Hades light cannon might give the advantage. Well, I mean, I think the idea is that like kind of the Gatling will just strip the armor just quickly, more consistently, but the Hades will just kind of cause more problems with sort of fire and give you the advantage, in the long term. And I mean, would I be right in saying that's kind of the idea behind it?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely to give the engineers a lot to think about. It's not just, the armor's breaking, and everything's on fire.
Yeah. Then again, that's like putting incendiary shot in the Gatling.
Okay.
It's not really a good idea to put incendiary in the Gatling.
Well, it's better than putting a Lochnagar in a Gatling.
Yeah, that is true. That magic bullet. Yeah.
So I think Lochingar flamethrower is my favorite thing to see.
Oh, the beauty.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like moving away from the new gun.
Yes. Okay,
someone,
let's get
Can someone kind of
get back on
explain?
topic.
Can someone explain the whole bounty hunting thing?
Bounty hunting, my baby.
I have no clue what this is right now.
Yeah, I remember reading about that when I first got on, but nothing was implemented. It's just too much to actually get into. But...
Yeah, no, it was definitely, you had to do a lot on the site, and it's something I've pushed for like 7 months to get in game, but, our backlog of things we want to do, everything is awesome. That's the problem. You're sitting there, it's like, well, and this week we'll work on biplanes or bounty hunting or...
Yeah, it's what to put in. We have 30,000 things, but it's like what to put in.
Yeah, but no, so the idea behind bounty hunting right now is you sign up during the registration period, and it filled up within 15 minutes, so we're going to have to find a better system to bring more people in. Like, right now I'm looking at adding in the feature so I can add registration slots whenever, so basically, over the course of the weekend, I'll just hop on randomly, throw in more, so we can grab people from different time zones. And then when the hunting period starts, which is this Monday, you click on the bounty list, and you can click on any of those people who signed up and join instantly into their game. And if you beat them, you get points.
Yes, that's nice.
So
Okay.
the people who get the most points, and the points are based off the level. So if they're like, a level 15, they're worth 150 points.
Damn.
Yep.
So we all know to go straight after Gilder.
Basically, everyone just focus on Gilda.
Right after Gilder, Phoenix, Twinkie, all those high.
But then I guess if you're getting more points from them, they're clearly going to be more difficult to beat, in theory.
Yep.
Not necessarily.
Well, it might
in
just be
theory.
massive achievement whores.
Yeah.
Like Gilda.
Or Phoenix.
You just have someone sitting on what's it called? Okay, no, don't worry. I've completely forgot what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for 2 weeks, those people were going to be hunted down. We were thinking about adding in a way to stop being the bounty just in case, but it didn't get in before we put in the patch.
So it's gonna be like the next update.
Probably because I'm assuming it's first come first serve, and I don't think some of these people truly understand how passionate some of the players of Guns of Icarus are.
Yeah.
Because when we ran the bounty system, even just through the website, Pincamena Del Pi, as soon as I updated the bounty list, I had 5 people that he found just instantly.
Yeah.
Oh my.
There are people just dedicated to that stuff.
Yep. Because through the bounty system, if you're get the most wins when you're a bounty, or you capture the most bounties, you get a special unique badge, and it's the only way to get it.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've got to sign up for that.
So that's just from being the bounty.
Well, so there's one for being the bounty and one for capturing the most bounties. And then there's a special one if you can be both. So you're the most dangerous bounty, but you also capture the most other bounties.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Very evil thoughts coming to mind. Everybody watch out. Next time I get to sign up, you're all dead.
As you say so. If you really say so.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see that put in there, because when I first saw it, I'm just like, when are they going to implement this? This is too much work. And now it's actually in the game. That's very nice.
Yep. Well, you thought it was too much work on your end. I had to manually go in the database to add the bounty tag to each person, record each of their wins.
Oh god.
Yeah. Also, I just realized this when you were talking about the bounty system. It's the bounty is like competitive play outside of the clan's competitive scene.
The only thing about the bounty system is that, say, one player on his own, no matter how good he theoretically is, cannot drag up an entire team. If that good player, quote unquote good player, is not working well with the rest of their team, the team isn't listening, the team's just like trolls or whatever, which does happen, believe me.
Yes.
Is it really that much of an achievement to beat that one guy as part of a 16, 12-man, 8-man team that's not really working well together?
So the way we saw it, especially in the bounty system, the people who signed up alone and thought they were the best people ever didn't do well. It's a teamwork-based game. You're not going to be able to harrow your way from engineer to save the entire game, but the people who did really well in the bounty system before were the people who had friends. They'd be like, okay, guys, I'm getting on right now, and I want to win every game. So the 7 of you jump on too.
Nice.
And
So I
they were
suppose,
monsters.
I suppose clans and teams kind of stand up in groups then, I guess.
Yeah, well, and even just groups of friends, because we saw a lot of that, where people would be like, we all want to be targeted here. We want to hop on and challenge the entire community.
Yeah. One more thing before I think we move on to the next topic. Will there be a point where, say, a clan can sign up to be a bounty so that everybody in that clan could get targeted?
I think what it will do first is we'll upgrade the bounty system. It's something we've wanted to do for a while, but we'll make it more, so it's more than just you add a tag. So there's more in our system, because then we can actually do things with the bounty system and say, okay, the people with this tag, which is reserved for these people and not anyone can hop in.
Yeah.
I think what's probably more important than the bounty system or almost anything else right now is to have some sort of an automated ladder system for clans. Because basically, there's the Google Doc, the competitive scene Google Doc, and that has to be upgraded kind of manually. And I'm just thinking how good it would be. I mean, if we could just do that all automatically, so there'd be no kind of organization kind of.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's again, it's like what happened with the bounty system. We get the idea all fleshed out, and we get all the problems worked out outside of in-game, and then once it's all good, and we have the time, also vitally. But I mean, that's the big thing, because once we have a clan system that has a more stringent way of signing people up and getting people in, like so if they have this tag, they are 100% these people. Then you can just run the same rules you have for the competitive system, but automated, because then the system automatically knows, well, this is Overwatch fighting Valiant right here.
Yeah. That'd be a very nice feature to add. So moving on to the next topic, the new map, the 4v4 deathmatch called Red. I'm not even gonna bother trying to pronounce that word. It's basically based off the King of the Flayed Hills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who has had a chance to play on this?
Oh, it's a madhouse. I want to see organized play on it. I've played brawls on it basically.
Yeah.
But I want to see 2 clans, or even like 4 clans, I guess, grouping up at a time, just fighting on that thing.
That would be awesome.
I haven't really had a chance to play on it yet, but
that's because you haven't played the game since the update came out.
I have actually. It was yesterday. For a good
what,
period
5
of time.
minutes?
No, why did everyone assume I'm just never in game anymore?
Because your computer's always broken.
Well, yeah, but that's very true. I do play the game.
Do you even know how to play Guns of Icarus anymore?
All right, I think that's enough taunting.
Yeah. Brick, have you had a chance to play on this map yet?
Well, I've played on King of the Flayed Hills many times, but I haven't had a chance to play it in the deathmatch mode yet. I know a few of my friends have. I mean, I just... Oh, my goodness. I mean, you think, like, sniping can be bad in some matches. Can't even imagine how much sniping.
Firing line of 4 galleons.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean,
we're just gonna circle the caravans here.
Is it just kind of? Actually, I mean, what I'd really like to see more of is not actually a death match in that kind of map. I want to see in competitive play more kind of capture point maps, because the capture point maps obviously force you to be aggressive. They force you to keep moving, etc., etc. And I feel like that there's a lack of variety in the competitive scene right now. And I mean, we really need a capture point tournament or a capture point event.
I know Eric is actually working on next week. Like, Eric has his super secret list of what he wants to do to capture points, because there's so much he wants to do with them, because he wants to make them bigger, because he likes the objective based play.
Yeah.
It kind of adds something different to the game, I guess. It adds it's not just about trying to find your enemy and killing them. It's about doing that, but at the same time, you've got like this time limit kind of as you there's numbers counting down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay,
I think we're getting off topic.
Slightly.
we can save this for next week, because this is more for the competitive play. Another of the new features, which I have yet to find a use for, is the new Omni, or the new not Omni class. How would you describe it? The different setups you can have for each ship and
the loadouts.
Like, how would you describe that? I don't know the words to describe that.
So that's ship loadouts.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Class loadouts.
Yeah, you can have like up to 3 custom loadouts for each class and ship. There we go.
So that comes, the loadout system comes basically attached, because we made it so in newbie games you can only play, or proving ground games you can only play certain ships. So we had to have loadouts that people can choose from. And then because we already built the system, we just threw it in for everyone else in case they wanted to use it.
I see.
That's very nice.
Well, it is very handy to just be able to kind of click, one's my Pyrrha loadout, one's my Junker loadout, one's my Galleon loadout, and just kind of click rather than changing each pilot skill individually. That's quite handy.
I still don't think it's that much of a burden to just have to, before if I change ship, to just to very quickly click.
Well, I mean, it's like it saves a couple of clicks, which is in Roblox perfectly fine. And when you add up all those clicks, kind of all the hundreds of hours I've played Guns of Icarus, I don't know, that's probably like a few hours out of my time or something. Save.
Probably easy 5 hours out of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see that the main thing the two main things I see that used for would have to be the ship, like the gun loadouts on the ship, and the gunners themselves, because the gunners are always changing their ammo types depending on guns or their captain's
on what the captain asks. Actually, what there needs to be is just a suggestion button for captains just to click on gunners and be like, just take these.
Yes.
Too much.
Well,
do you accept this list? Put it into your loadout.
Yes, when I was looking at, like, when I saw that you could view a person's loadout, I'm like, ooh, no, I can't change anything.
That's so useful.
So sad.
I think that's my favorite thing from this update, just as a pilot, to be able to click on someone and say, no, you need to bring this. No, not this mock, the incendiary, or it
Yeah.
helps out a lot. Especially with people that don't have bikes.
Yeah, I'm so spoiled though, because I've got my gunner that I play with all the time, Talk, and like I actually was really bad at knowing ammos for the longest time, because I was like, what do you think you should take? And then she'd just take it and everything would work out. So I was like, well, I guess I don't need to suggest anything here.
I guess so.
Yeah.
What else has been changed?
Does anybody else have anything to add for that?
Not really.
Let's talk about like the Pyrrha and the Spire, because I mean, you definitely have to talk about that.
I definitely want to talk about that.
I was literally just looking at it, thinking.
So
for
everybody who doesn't know, the hull health on the Pyramidion has been dropped from 800 to 700, and the Spire's hull health has been upped from 650 to 750. So essentially now the Spire has more hull health than the Pyramidion.
I think that it's kind of a good thing that the Spire is a bit tankier, since it's always been like kind of a known as one of the weakest ships in the game. But
yeah,
I don't think.
Well, it's also a massive target, so
yeah. It's
and let's be honest, hitting a Spire is not that difficult.
No, I still don't think it should be higher than the Pyrrha, though. I mean, the Spire is typically known as
the glass tower.
Well, put it this way: you don't really see any. Or you rarely see, like, right up in your face carronade mortar spires. I mean, a lot of them are quite sniperish, hanging back.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the big thing to remember is they still don't have great armor. So
No.
and that whole health will just drop instantly in the face of almost any explosive weapon.
Yeah, I guess.
Another thing is that the Pyrrha's mass has been quite significantly reduced. So I mean, you can't just kind of. Well, it's harder to just kind of repeatedly ram into a Spire and just like, just completely destroy it just with one ram.
My worst nightmare in the Spire is seeing that Pyramidion point straight at me and charge full speed ahead, because I know if it doesn't blow up before it reaches me, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Well, actually, the thing is with the Spire, its vertical climb rate and descent rate is so fast. I mean, you can usually just kind of jump or duck kind of those Pyramidions, as long as you've got a Hydra or a shoot vent. If you don't, then you're screwed.
Yeah. I used to be able to do that really well, and then everyone started getting smart about it. And as soon as you started going up or down, they'd counter you.
Adjust.
Yeah. It's like you have to do it the split second before they hit you, which is impossible unless you blow up your own balloon. Speaking of which, you guys at Muse should add that. I want to be able to blow up my balloon so I could evade these guys faster.
Yeah. There is a way. You just hold on. You just chuck hydrogen on.
It doesn't blow it up fast enough.
But he's saying he wants to hold a lighter in the balloon and just
Pretty
watch it go.
Like, I want to be able to literally burn my own balloon instantly.
Oh man, Howard always wanted to be able to make his ship into a bomb. I bet I could sell it to him. Like, hey, what if we made the balloon explodable?
Put Lochnagar into the hull somehow.
Okay. Oh my. Do you guys at Muse have a suggestion box? Because I need to know this now.
Feedback at musegames.com. We literally answer every email that comes in. And the good ones we take. Like, we have a backlog of, okay, and this, like, it goes on our project master list, and basically every good idea gets put on there, and, like, it's priority level.
Oh, okay, somebody's gonna have to remember to write that down somewhere.
Yes, put it in the description.
Whatever. Okay, moving on to one of the new content things is 3 new Omni-class costumes, which I've yet to see.
What?
They actually didn't get added in with the patch. They got added in a day later, so they should be in now. It's the Kavansky, the Madison, and then the Red Sparrow.
Is that what
Okay.
they were showing on the website thing?
No, those ones are just dye costumes, I believe. Old ones.
The dyes are really nice, though. That's another thing.
Oh yes. I
already,
believe we could squeeze dyes into this topic.
Yeah.
So who has dyed their costumes?
We've already
The-
at BFS we have like team colors already of black and blue, and we're
Well,
trying
yeah,
to we're
for
trying to get
those-
everyone to dye it.
For those who can afford them, because like
Yeah.
black
Or
costs
unlock.
$1.
Yeah, I think that's a bit much for a dye, to be honest. But
Yeah, black is definitely one of the premium ones, but I think. But there's a lot of like all the reds, greens, and whatnot come through leveling, like all the basic colors.
Yeah, I've
I think that's,
actually
it's
I
kind of a
went to
great
go
thing
check,
when
my redeemable stuff because
just
some reason
dyes
my
everywhere.
logged
Yeah.
on after the update I leveled up, so I'm like, okay, let's see my new badge. 30,000 new dyes I unlocked.
I always love that when something like that's added. It's like when badges were added, you just went onto your you went onto your profile and you're suddenly like, wait, what? I've unlocked all these items.
You just spend 5 minutes clicking to unlock stuff.
Isn't there one outfit that's kind of exclusively for CAs and that kind of thing? I think Andros was showing off an outfit
Yeah,
kind of like
actually,
that. It's
so
kind
it wasn't exclusively for CAs. It just didn't get updated in the store as well. That's the Madison. Kavansky.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so they're in there now. So
Good. I can actually
okay.
get that.
So Andros can't be too smug over the rest of us for too much longer then. That's good.
There
Um,
you go.
I think
There's lots of other small things that have been added in, like first-person equipment animations and stuff,
yeah.
animated gun reticles.
When you go to
Yeah,
look
I
at a
think-
game in the lobby, it tells you whether or not it's a deathmatch.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
quite like that.
I think definitely my favorite thing is those kind of the hit markers
yeah.
on the ships. That is
Oh.
so helpful. Kind of like just seeing, when you've got the armor down, so you don't have to kind of look at the corner of the screen at all times for that little feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That also
just-
makes it.
yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it also makes it easier to use the Gat Black. Because as soon
Well,
as
yeah,
he's
it does.
running around fixing stuff, sees that the Gatling is hitting red, he could just hop on the flat cannon to finish it.
Especially on
Yeah.
ships like the Junker.
Yeah.
It's really useful.
And it's just so much easier for kind of gunners to practice and improve at that timing now that those markers are there. I think just, gunners are going to get so much better, so much faster now, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
yep.
Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about from the new update?
I feel like those were all the big ones that I can think of.
Yeah.
There's lots of small balancing things, the guns, but there's so many of them.
That's probably just going to be like a screenshot.
Oh, I think the Okay, well, I mean, the Gatling's had a slight nerf. I think 5 bullets. a
Gatling
second.
gun, 5 bullets
That's quite.
a second.
Yeah, that's quite major. I
From
mean, that's
6
almost like its rate of fire is basically dropping by over a sixth. Blech. And
Over a
that's
shot per
quite-
second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's quite substantial.
definitely. I wonder if this is going to make it easier or if it's going to change how hard it is for a hull engineer to keep the hull armor up.
Well, it's going to be easier.
Yeah, I know it's
because
going to be easier, but are
Mm.
they going to be able to withstand that full barrage from Gatlings?
Oh no, you can still do more damage than can be repaired, which is something I need. Like I swear, everybody I play with on my ship, especially Spire, it's like, listen, when you're on the Spire, you're not gonna be able to out repair what's hitting you. Just shoot all the guns constantly.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's one of the biggest things. You even saw that in the Spire tournament. Hull armor down, ignore it. Just shoot the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
think that's-
mortar has some things change. Carronade.
Heavy Flags had a massive buff in terms of range anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
1,440 meters over 1,000.
Isn't that
That's
close to
pretty
the Mercury now? Or
I don't think according to the list. There's nothing. Oh, well, I mean it's close to the Mercury. I'm not sure the exact numbers on the Mercury. I'm a flyboy, not a gun nut, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I think that goes for most of us.
yeah.
I would have a look if my mouse had stopped working. See, another thing that
GG
breaks.
Alex, you broke your computer again.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
To the arduous task of going through a web browser.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that covers everything for this week. Unless any of you guys have anything at all you want to talk about before we sign off about the new update.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to kind of ask what people feel about like the heavy flat getting this massive range buff.
Yeah, definitely gonna make it more of a sniping heavy weapon.
Yeah.
Well, I know we had people telling us constantly that, you know, they hated the heavy flak. Just it wasn't effective for them.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I still loved it though. I'll be
Heavy
honest.
flak is awesome from a
I
pilot standpoint.
remember that, like, I mean, really back in the good old days, so to speak, when the gents were just running with like double heavy flak, and they were just destroying
yeah.
everything, and everyone was like, going, "Oh God, please nerf the heavy flak," and then you did, and then
Nobody could shoot it.
Nobody could shoot it. Nobody liked it anymore. I mean, do you feel kind of like it's kind of like back where it should be? Or closer to where it should be, you know?
I think it's a lot better than it was. I mean, especially because before 1.2, I was actually in that tournament as well, and I got faced off against the gents and I think the paddling, the very first paddling outing, and the heavy flak fire. Like my team, we couldn't even move. Like we'd get out of spawn and just die instantly, just to heavy flaks, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
One last thing. Keyvias, what is your favorite thing that has been added or done in this update?
Bounty hunting, because it's my baby. It's still got a lot I want done to it, but to actually have it in game and to have, because I mean, when you sign up for bounty, your name goes red and your clan tag switches to bounty. I mean, it's a big thing.
Nice. Brick.
Again, it's probably just those hit markers, because it's just so helpful to new players and so helpful to experienced players to just get those timings down perfectly.
And Alex.
Probably the hit markers, as well as being able to view other players' loadouts and stuff before the game in lobby.
So I'm the only person here who's excited about the Spire getting a buff to its hull health.
Dude, I always play Sniper Spire. If they're hitting my hull health, I've probably already lost.
No, you can still pull it out. I mean, you have enough forward-facing guns. But yeah, that's it for this week. So this has been the Guns of Icarus podcast. I've been Demigo.
I've been Brick Hardcastle.
I've been 3 points down.
Okay, let's try that so you don't say it at the same time.
Every week I wait too long and just miss it. So.
Are you guys gonna try that again, or should I just end this here?
I think.
I've been Hardcastle. Alex has been.
Alex, 3 points down. Yeah.
You had someone else doing it for you. You already messed up.
GG, Alex.
Wow.
This has been a fun week, so see you guys next time.
Hey there, it's not as bad as you'd expect. True, you're not as wrecked, but it could have been over. Reach now and take your comrade by the hand. A fever's on the land, and we gotta go. Let's fly, soaring to the light. Never say die. Fly with all your might. Let's fly. Leave the pain behind. Spinning below, ready to go. Far off, in a world beyond the sky, where all creation lies, fortunes are turning. So feel yet to find the key for humankind. And we gotta